Now Obiri Boahen, a former Deputy General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party. Yenene Nkeke Nkomo. Nana me wakwa ba bru.
Ofam do ofan utem philosopher pao.
Ye be ni dey.
Utem philosopher so ma waka na pe.
Nana mami mra nkomo yi.
Ofa utie. Enti so me kana me tu fo se we munya ye, we munye seya. Whether MPP or NDC. Shania, Mecca. I don't belong to the NDC. But, now for that, man, you're some in Ghana generally. Now, because a bad MPP, flag bearers upon Obi Becha. Now, me come with now we said that we send many number B. Now I'm okay about me. I'm winning. Now I'm for French. No, what we are done. Oh, so I'm because look. Menya a prophet of me who no rem, me who the rem. But I'm saying that.
I am from Komosi. Why?
I'm saying that with my knowledge in politics, me try me baby come na me kata. NDC Asiedu Nketia contested. Na Obiri Asiedu Nketia air contested. With my knowledge in politics, with my knowledge in history, a better penny, so be better Asiedu Nketia. A better penny. What I said, Madame Fujulo Zabrayet, that day, na President Mahama Kobi, na Asiedu Nketia Kobinu, a better penny. Mikasa and Teresa, Asiedu Nketia, Wamami Sika, and now my name is Yamina Musa Danko Pusi. Obiri Boahen me de anya Musa Danko Pusi or the John Post prediction or the Sule Brahman's prediction. Me wa from anya road anum prediction me say me will spiritual.
Na you run up wadaruma.
Me won spiritual realm. But you see me kasi animu. And this me ko ka say bia but we are winning no one winning. Let me just say look, I don't want to draw a definite conclusion. But I want to tell caution, me say, I beg you to so be better Asiedu Nketia. I am possible. And yes, and yes, and yes, Japadia. But my knowledge and experience in politics and in history. Me can't mean thing. And coming back to Dr. Baumiano.
Any and ready up, Madaruma.
And that's a chance. We should advise ourselves. Panini yamenya yankase wankani akora yamenya yankase wankani one say Mr. Tia Medici 20 baso President of Regional House of Chiefs Dr. Ananidiano Machiro sir Dr. Ananidiano Supreme Court determined it 5 years later and some was 32 the second of the something at the moment I'm from Mokre
that's it
don't go ya bwa na kan nasam ane kasinsia Adiame adima dan kwakua wo de asa me ka wasa oni azika on beka so de me nipa no ntimi ya bias na ko kasa kwa mi sefa kan dan kwakua bo an kwasinsia eno de bias bi anim that de say so that is the point. I think that Dr. Boahen was quite right. Okay, me understand the word of caution. Me ka bi ase enye didija eni nantitwitwa eni person nkuminya MPP for no traditional.
Na mami mra nkomo yi.
Ofa utie.
Na we dia wa ya na no ada me ho ade bi o social media me de mam famu sa. You see wa mo aba National House of Chiefs meeting na ye ponia na suma hene wo pie ya tax bi ka wa mo chese here twachi no ani na security for no etimi ni ko wura dan mu biem na national security building ni mu e ma am so om de krata akra ba bontini de bibi sai etisan ade na ese basa
with a personal opinion sanya manuba enye you should condemn it. No, we should not condemn it. Yama ubi akwan na ubi antre na adwene. Yama ubi akwan na ontre na adwene. But ye to be afo no, me nyina fi hu se. Ye try adwene. There must be a limit to how we express ourselves in public. First, I'll condemn, but attack. No. That is my personal view. Obi neme ba obi neme nya then personally I will condemn that attack. So you don't need to do that. We shouldn't do that. And yes, sir. Ya namu biya wanagene. So oyena no sumayina no aba mansia meeting na owie no bi attack no a enye no sir obeka ya emna na ye campaign 2024 but o tie me
I'm Ethiopia.
Yako Bono Regional House of Chiefs, Dr. Baumia Bai, and I call Bono Regional House of Chiefs. Nana Mekano. Yeah, no, Nana Sumahene or Kasano. Obo mi dini pay, sir, ni sir, na Obiri Boahen Daba House of Chiefs ha. Officer Obiri Boahen, aya dabi okasa na okasa tiai. Esipao memeni Dr. Baumia Ohobi asama mekan bra from penfo bebri ho ayonfo nyina obi that menkasantia ohene biada beta obia ni se menkasantia ohene biada e wo wiase me mabakosem na ya mekirim Ethiopia metro mabakosem na anye wo da and so Makasa Fury, another boy. Makasa
And me tonka pa.
What is saying Makasa Fury?
Abio.
Makasa Fury, but about someone make anything in this history, no. Not said, every I would be said, and now with that. I don't know my own opinion in the public. So I know everybody or her saying, or so that they are not fear yet. You need me so better fear. Maybe a number you see her. At some time, I'm okay. At some time, I'm okay. But I didn't bother to respond. Maybe I could have responded, but I didn't bother to respond.
Ada na mpesa oba responde.
Oh, what ona Dr. Baumia nam. Emma, nana kwa fashion. Nana is a known NDC man. To correspond to us. People may take you out of context. Like I said, Omo can be in the brain. Omo can be in the brain. That guy in church. I am in the church of a man from Kurana, is in my game. Every media have hatred against the Bono people. But that is not it. And who are the Bono people? Who are the Bono people? Not in the hatred. So, you see, that attacking, people should not have attacking. And yet, nobody attacking. We should speak to issues. We should speak to issues in this country. When we speak to issues, look, Otu Foko Okugwa, Emma Okokatre, Womuse, ayano say, Omode Okofanoche, Ama. Asanteman. Eti oba na obeba asante obeba okugwa fuase. All over the world otum for kasase nyina. Obi atiye, obi ahuye, obi ahye. But you know, FM station bi na omfrɛ me nam si o. Otum for ne waka no. Eye nokre. Na se me ni no nya adwene enwie peyo. Every say, Anna, or Mobby Sam, every say, oh, Agona, one fourth chief, and a confanoche. Agona, one more chief, and no confoy amoa. Okonfo ya mo a no wo fasie pa ni mpo ne okonfa no twe agona wo mu 50 ani anim no wo fa pa ne konfo no twe ne nana ne okonfo ya mo a so I said otumfo akamene ne nya adwene but what is say obi attack me what is say asante bi freka say Obiri Boahen adentine wa komensia ana wo komensia so wa kokasa wo ni asante ne nya adwene. That is the situation we go through. So for me as an individual attack na bi ndi take shimane no maybe I don't think so. I support that. We should all be honest and principled and be forthright. We should all be honest and principled and forthright. Now, say you cannot pray. What was the make us a no confirm or two for Yajane? The no two for Yajane. One two will have to be a back. Say something I didn't know Obiri Boahen. But the Nketia said, yeah, then you have the bomb bloggers attacking me, insulting me. You understand? So I'll condemn it. But our advice is, Yeni Nara, Obiara, Yakasa, Yansha, Yakasa Muye. Look, my memory was an incident happened. And the president of the Bono Regional Statistics said, so what you check, I said, Otumfo asante hene bae no. Wama anasa wampere ama Dr. Nane ani tafu akonya. So wo hwe sa video no. But what you
me
go. Sir, apart from Dankwaku abo ankwan na say me say, me church ni. Me nkesa Ghana obia afra me say me church. Woni Asana, president of the Bono Chiefs became. And you're not correct. The truth of the matter. Dr. Nketia was determined by the Supreme Court. Dr. Nketia was determined by the Supreme Court. At the time of Supreme Court determined Dr. Nketia, it was 28 June 1994. 28 June 1994. Otu for talking about April 1999. Otu for talking about April 1999. And the matter is reported. Every lawyer who is chief case the title of the case is Owusu and another versus Anani and others. Owusu and another versus Anani and others. The matter was determined on 28 June 1994. What was the decision? The decision, that matter started from a judicial committee, Kumasi to Asante Regional House, to National House, to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court confirmed the National House. Sir, Dr. Anane, on this year, Dr. Anane, on this year, that was the decision by the Supreme Court. And therefore, before Satin Oseti to the April 1999, the highest court of Ghana, no way determined. But Dr. Anane, after the Supreme Court, determined as a no. Dr. Anane, person, what's no one say? Eti ebiyone eba atafo. Ebiyone eba atafo. Eti asate ni ba 1999, 5 years after the determination of the matter. Now Dr. Anane mpie no ho ase. Eti not afo di afo de Dr. Anane ntimi nko ho.
Na woni se sa asem we so kwa me kwotena mu bi. E wotafo na sa abre no obi ayi kura no wo amusieye no ne yakoto ebe mu ne yakotum.
Yeah. And you know, Supreme Court case now determined, you know, the Chief Justice then was Asha. Chief Justice Asha. Other panel members were Aban, Amwasaki, Etis, Branford Ado, Jason Benjamin, and then Ampia. And the matter was determined on 28 June 1994. And the matter here reported in the Ghana Bar report. Just that I don't have a copy with me. It means to me kind of direct here, no. But at the 1994 or 95, thereabouts, in fact, it was around that time. So the president of the regional house, Nuka, said, like some person, Otufo, Emma, Dr. Anane, yeah. The truth of the matter is that is never correct. In fact, when the matter was started in Kram, matter no one started in Kram, it got to the Supreme Court around 1992. And the matter was determined around 1993 or 1994. And therefore, it's not the put on record, sir. As Santehine was said to do the second. And no, the man, Dr. Anna Nishia Kunyanso. The matter had already been determined. In fact, Dr. Anane was represented by me, and the other side was the saying, a German bossman, or the other way around. It could be a German bossman for Dr. Anane or me. So, if you want a situation like this, no Obiri Boahen from me, no me to say, the president of the regional association, okay, and it's and yes, something was said to two in a man, Dr. Anna resign. But the matter had been determined by the Supreme Court so many years, 5 or 6 years, and so on something about.
Okay, Nana, and you fear Nayamra a issue back, so why?
Yo,
baby, a year Benny. It's Excellency Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia. What about Bontin said, ye, a ban ye air you say, Okasa, near Barbacho, nomne at the day. No, a bibia a hard winner pa. Nana, Mammy, we say the issue of criminal liability in respect of free speech. Now, what's up here? Electronic and then one act now, and also I can't womb. Over here, Criminal Offences Act a year. Act 29 now, 1960 Act 29 now. So we 207, 208, you know, so what can you maybe a borders on criminality? Where as Mradimuni, any dear is Excellency Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia Akenu, you referee.
Dr. Baumia is right. Dr. Baumia is saying, say, look, as I said, you make a distinction between near Obi Akan defamatory ubesiuno than say use police for to achieve one year wope. Look, my baby, on him be by TikTok. What dresses but I saw the question ringo. Also, or much in that. Na brabonu emphata into a martin from assume. Now, or Hinenoba, Abaya, it's a press conference, the insulting conference. I did the attempt, and I got a Baumyako, I for now, I am the Asiedu Nketia. Look at the comment. I know we have a background of the press conference now, or insulting conference now. Macho men a channel with here. A bit of DC t-shirt. Now, what's your words no can I? Now, we are asking for do you descend into that level? Akasa di dia tema pimakutia. Now, few days later, MPP Nibi Petokabi a respondo. So do you have to invite this MPP So I look at the circumstance, the sequence of events. Not a walk of Fred Aberman. A political friend. We should say, what can occur? Common sense. Common sense. When Pana or Didia or in Nama who will it more. Sassam Robertson and South Aberman, your cancer. When you're active, I don't know what debate in a home. Meanwhile, I'm told, sir, he's a board member. What can you, Yanka? I didn't invite Mabimo, Central Region. The young people need acquire the Doom is back. Watch him. Can occupy, let's be very honest, no matter will be political inclination. But when prime and young someone to Uber catch me come and sacrifice the place, say Doom is back. No normal sane and sound person would just invite this boy. You're not joining here, Juma. I mean, some of you, Baba Mandu, why, cartoon be at the to say lesbian, colors, action playing food. This in law we call it action impersonal. Baba Amando Naya, no way I'm paying for you. Some paying for on betting me, I see Baba Amando. Even if that is actionable. Even if that is actionable. As a person for social or by or see I'm falling to come and conquer. Do you think is it normal? And you think that when you do these things here, oh yes, I'm your way now. And keep on me and your flag bearer of the MPP. No, on for instance, and the middle can occur. And even a big cry and this for crowd, they've come out to condemn it. So, you see, where any account of Dr. Baumiaka, what you be at them, what can say you be? What okay? Other Yanume, Mama Yashi, now some Cassia the bar, Frank and Siso. Yanume, Mama Yashi, now come Hufua, open the Bama. Yanume, Mama Yashi, and yet the other two words are fry, and I'm participating. Tommy, but about me and you know, kind of what can't that can't be. Would the one year telephone being cancer, Obiri Boahen, you're walking near Dr. Boahen, kind of wet, can be money. I don't know that they caught me froze from the crime and no cassa. But that camera, my hammer, or the mecca, Uchu Mutana, or the mecca. You make us say the way President Mahama and some of them or mobile Nketia and my day away, maybe away. Maybe me Obiri by Dabianaka, the Catholic people in Nigana some query. My son took us and this Nana some query. But in my candid opinion, or what about here and this bad and people for I warn them. Man, say you move away. Move position. And people for now being who, what when your post, your mouth post, as some American and a down and people position. So that even in November, I said, as a man soldier for the Shaban swap. And people is going to be as usual. Now, NDC Bayern, we all had the hope and anticipation, sir. President Mahama, obey to some quite yet that time must have been many years. Yenina, you bring your home fast work. Not MPP, not NDC, Ghana and Libya. But you know, at the President Mahama, the year, you know, we are all highly disappointed. What the make good governance. Obiamege rule of law, you know. Obiamege democracy, Obiamege can remember, you know. President Mahama has hugely disappointed all of us from A to Z. 77 years ni a Bank of Ghana buy. The Bank of Ghana financial statement ruling party in for the press conference. What is the pension center? 77 years. What is the cocoa board? Yaki Sudan. 77 years. What is that? You organizing African athletic games to be at. And you're poorly organized with just 2,000 people. 2,000 or 2005. So tell me, I am poorly organized. A bit Africa has that. A bit Africa that. And people 2023. Kurani ya bubi nkasa si kana mbi organize ya no sondodono 5,000 delegates no. It was well organized than this 2005. Tell me, sector bank and President Mahama ba ya na ye wo hope say oh nyama be ye wabamu ye kabi mamintie kabi mamintie. So if you back again to what Dr. Boahen is saying, good governance. But Boahen is saying, look, Mahama, I mean, yeah. But me and you, Mr. Uba, the man, so near my say never call. Of course, everybody, every sane and sound person, honest and sincere person will tell you, and yet say, in your panel. And they will tell you, sir, President Mahama, the sense that I read this morning, sir, Asiedu Nketia kind of baby said, man, am I from our morning to opposition party, no so. Minim so kano because now oko yendi minim sekwano so oba no kaya, but it is published. Me can yapem say, when you have the national chairman of a ruling political party which came to power 7th January 2025, and then 14th May 2026, the national chairman not can say, Mawanim Fawanim to opposition. So, we are intelligent. We are knowledgeable in politics. You see, Abamwe, the NDC, the advances will tell you, many structural person, many can Nebuchadnezzar, or your party, no, or your no Cassian, in fact, and then the Kofas Abo from Basse. There's a writing on the wall. Many structural person. From what Asiedu Nketia has said, from what Mustafa Bande said when he met Obiri, from the response of Erika J when he met Obiri, I did gone. So Dr. Boahen Nketia Obiri, he's just rehashing the normal refrain. He's just rehashing the normal refrain. Yan Tinasima Benfire Yasikanin Yanaka. Yan Tinasima being falling son of Yan. Yan Tinasin Yahidi. The import of Dr. Boahen statement said, the son ka upon Chania or the war. Nane, a day na yen Sebi. Bonina omuyen say ade we die your freedom of speech but who peja wa no kan it borders on criminality per the 1960 Act 29 no section 207 280 ho no adan yen hwe sadians ni educate enkrofo no say we die oka koduru ha it borders on criminality ubetimi akodin senseme wo emrem adan yen hwe no so saa mpayifo le ka se ukori ni pa mienu be ekonna bisasama na se ni sinura ni pa mienu be ekonna ne fie de ya bisasama na se ni sinura ya wodan ana asamba ni sina anu okuyadan obitin je fidie sinani na kofo ya kronfo kofo ya wudini kofo ya we ene de Just and the embodan criminality one.
A border na sebia eno de nipa bi bia state didn't take action ana nipa no asem no fa ne ho no wono so take action ba wo kokan na bia wo de no upie to sabota na ho na ye ko take action against you
Anti ayi abema no ka dum so no ababio no obi na koya report anya police for na cyber security for na university no
abi yesu obi na koya report say sa billboard na wa ye no what the AI na ye na billboard ni ye ne dia.
Never mind. I know your detention. I know your detention keke. Baba mando dia no. I don't know so no ya chimi street na me ha e de konkan. Kan okre. Sinyani ye ni a divisional. Ye ni municipal. Ye ni regional. No, we say o ki mo mane for no to agina moafo. Obi timi ka
say enkofo so ye say mo penso no obi ti say muntie 3 mo de wo mo koi mo penso mo de bobi ansa koi mo penso no mo de enkofo awudo bebre koi no ne ade enti say saa bone kro no anipa no bi adi na say so oman mra twe wo maso a eno no mo bosu dwetere say
eventually what happened anya no nti na mo to abati MPP for
we can won.
I master of Abakosam, maybe so. I'm not going to talk about MPP for. Obi, Castle, Baumiazi Praku. Now, Obi say the definition of Baumia, a tracer, Baumia, a adverb, a verb, a adjective. You know, Baumia and in the year they have kept a very cool and calm posture. In your life, what you say, you did flag bearer be an vice president to be that temper, Samira Baumia, in your life, all throughout your life. Before you were born, and even after today. When you pan, I have to know to say Samira Baumia. When pan and you to know prepare say Baumia. Even in Kramofokura can one on pass for the Quran. Obiri say, or you preko, Obiri say, or we in some Malik Basintele and Asiedu. Nanti Samira de Mojani ni mu. Baumia de Mojani ni mu. So that is where we find ourselves. And that only the time we are want to make us I am a casa Yahweh, Kwekwe, Efie, Abre, Mumian you. In Rwanda, it was just an unfortunate comment on a radio station. In Rwanda, it was an unfortunate comment on a radio station. The end result, more than 2 million people died. 2 million. One comment. The situation we find ourselves in, Dr. Baumia is giving us the advice. He's giving us the caution. No, everybody, imagine the whole former president. I quite remember we said, judges are MPP judges. You know, now me bar, the young sector. He's not MPP, NDC lawyer. So by and also some more, the conclusion, the irresistible conclusion people will draw is that and the judge will be promoted to be NDC. The irresistible conclusion. The whole former president, and never be a president. Which is a mayor. Which is that comment was good. At the time when President Mahama can't say, oh, President Mahama, some former president, this comment to me, it's a bad thing, also in the party. At the media. Obiri Boahen, Obiri, media, Yankopon, I said, I give me my you. Name young normal human being, Yankopon, I am a reincarnated soul.
Sir,
I am
a reincarnated soul.
Yeah, because we just send him about what here. Me no kura meka Minyam suru a mewo, minim dia a mewo. It is not normal. And you're normal for human beings. It is a mechanic too for say, when munya, when munya say, whether MPP or NDC. Shania, I don't belong to the NDC. But, now for that, man, you're some in Ghana generally. Now, because a bad MPP, flag bearer, Obi Becha. Now, me can waste one. Now, we said that we said many number be. Now, I'm going to be a winning. Now, I'm for French. No, what we are done.